I'm Sifat Kabir, right now standing at the BIMSTEC Secretariat here in Dhaka, the diplomatic bridge that connects South and Southeast Asia. Today, I was here on behalf of Deshkal News to interview BIMSTEC Secretary General Ambassador Indra Mani Pandey. We will be discussing today the trade, regional cooperation and security. So let's begin this interview. Good morning, His Excellency. I hope you are fine. And thank you for allowing Deshkal News and me for this wonderful moment and to hold this exclusive interview.
Good morning, Sifat. It's a great pleasure welcoming you in the BIMSTEC Secretariat. I've been looking forward to interacting with Deshkal, and it's a great pleasure.
Thank you. Excellency, I would first like to know about BIMSTEC and about your career as the ambassador. If you can explain in briefly to our audience or to the people of Bangladesh.
I'm very happy to share with your audience. I took over as BIMSTEC Secretary General in January 2024. So I have been in Dhaka for 2 years and 5 months now. Before I came to Dhaka as Secretary General, I was India's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva. I have held ambassadorial position in Sultanate of Oman. I was posted as Deputy Ambassador in Paris, France, and as Consul General of India in Guangzhou, China. And during my 36-year-long career, I have also been posted to Egypt, Syria, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Geneva. Regarding BIMSTEC, it's an intergovernmental organization which was created in 1997. The basic purpose was to bring together countries from South Asia and Southeast Asia so that they can cooperate together for shared economic development. And that's why this organization is named Bay of Bengal Initiative for Technical and Economic Cooperation. Initially, it was conceptualized by Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Later, Myanmar joined, and a few years later, Nepal and Bhutan also joined. So we have 7 member states now. This organization works on the basis of consensus. So our very comprehensive agenda has been developed over past 29 years through consensus. There are about 18 areas of cooperation that member states have identified. In each area of cooperation, we have action plans agreed by the member states. There are expert groups or joint working groups which try to implement those action plans. They meet regularly. We also have ministerial meetings in certain sectors, and then we have meeting of foreign ministers, summit meetings, meetings of foreign secretaries, and we have introduced a unique system of lead member states for different sectors. For example, Bangladesh leads sectors like trade, investment and development, as well as blue economy. Bhutan leads environment and climate change as well as mountain economy. India leads security, energy and disaster management sectors. Myanmar leads agriculture and fisheries, food security, livestock sectors. Nepal leads the sectors which are focused on people-to-people relations like culture, tourism, youth exchanges, sports, think tanks exchanges, tour operators exchanges. Sri Lanka leads in science, technology and innovation, health and human resource development, and Thailand leads the important sector of connectivity. So you can see that the number of areas of cooperation that we have identified. Recently, we actually created an expert group on fiscal and monetary policy. So this is the beginning of cooperation in finance sector. And we have also agreed to create an expert group on women development so that we can also progress on women-led development and women-centered development under BIMSTEC. So overall, BIMSTEC is focused on developmental cooperation and security cooperation based on the decisions of the member states.
Thank you, Excellency. Then I will just begin with a very soft and you can tell that among the experts and diplomats here in Dhaka and among the BIMSTEC members, there's a, you can tell there's a gossip or someone, I mean, when we discuss, someone tells that BIMSTEC is not that successful as ASEAN, because we see BIMSTEC as a diplomatic bridge between that connects South and Southeast Asia. But still, when Southeast Asia comes, we in our mind it comes that ASEAN. So after ASEAN, I think that BIMSTEC is one of the platform or one of the cooperative platform that people started to believe that maybe this regional platform will be a wonderful or a successful one. But often it's said that it's not successful like ASEAN and EU. What's your opinion on this?
I would like to focus on what BIMSTEC has achieved. So over past 29 years, as I mentioned, we have been able to establish all the mechanisms which are needed for cooperation. We have our own charter which provides the guidance for future progress. There is a vision document called Bangkok BIMSTEC Vision 2030, which provides a roadmap for future progress. We have developed action plans in various sectors which are being implemented. We have created centers of excellence which are functional, and there are proposals to create more centers of excellence in different areas of cooperation. So we have made progress, but compared to ASEAN, certainly we have not made that much progress in forging regional cooperation. But we also need to remember that ASEAN was created 30 years before BIMSTEC was created, and the cooperation under European Union started even 10 years earlier than ASEAN. Forging regional cooperation or multilateral cooperation takes time, because we have to make sure that all the member states agree on where we need to cooperate, how we need to cooperate, what are the goals. But I can say with confidence that BIMSTEC is now at a stage where it has begin to deliver on its promises. Member states are very keen to make sure that it makes more progress in future. Bangladesh is the current chair. We are looking forward to working with the new government in Bangladesh to make sure that we make more progress in future. Also, we need to talk more about BIMSTEC so that people become aware of what BIMSTEC has been doing and what achievements it has made in different areas and what are its priorities. So the more we make people aware of BIMSTEC, the more people would realize that it is an organization which has a huge potential to develop regional cooperation around Bay of Bengal.
Excellency, for example, when Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, these names, I mean including India, when these names come under BIMSTEC, so often it comes that in South Asia there's another platform, regional platform that's called SARC. So often it's compared that BIMSTEC was created as alternative, or as seen as alternative to SARC, as you know it's already established among the diplomatic area that SARC is a failed platform. So after SARC, BIMSTEC was created, and maximum members here are the member of SARC. they are also the member of SAARC. So what's your actual opinion? Actually, I wanted to.
I would like to inform your audience that BIMSTEC was not created as an alternative to SAARC, because if you recall, in 1997 when BIMSTEC was created, SAARC was fully functional. It had begun to deliver on its promises for regional cooperation. It had made a lot of progress, and there was a huge potential for progress in future. BIMSTEC was essentially created as a platform to start cooperation between South Asia and Southeast Asia. That is how it was conceived, not as an alternative to SAARC, but as a distinct platform to bring the two regions together and to focus on those aspects of cooperation which are technical and economic in nature, but keeping away from divisive political issues. So it's not appropriate for us to look at BIMSTEC in context of SAARC. SAARC has its own history, its own membership, its own agenda, its own way of functioning. BIMSTEC has its own history, its own agenda, and its own priorities. I think the focus also of the two organizations is different. SAARC is very South Asia focused, political in nature, whereas BIMSTEC is a non-political platform with sole focus on bringing member states together to work together in order to fulfill their developmental aspirations and to deal with shared security challenges. So I would appeal to people not to look at these two organizations as competing for the same space, rather than fulfilling two different goals for regional cooperation.
Then actually we'll move towards another angle, that India is is the largest donor in BIMSTEC. So in the coming years, or last three years if we see, or last 4 years and the coming years, what will be India's strategical approach and priorities towards BIMSTEC, as it's leading the security and other part in this BIMSTEC? So what's your opinion?
Let me first underline that we have 7 member states, and as I explained earlier, all our 7 member states have equal opportunity and equal role to forge regional cooperation, work together, and all the member states have different capacities, but they try their best to contribute to regional cooperation and even to the budget of the Secretariat. So all our member states make equal contribution. They are equally committed to success of BIMSTEC. India, of course, has neighborhood first policy. Also, it has Act East policy, and then the policy to develop close ties with countries from Southeast Asia and beyond. So BIMSTEC, in a way, brings together all the 3 facets of India's foreign policy. If you look at the members of BIMSTEC, they are India's eastern neighbors, so it becomes part of Act East policy, neighborhood first policy, and also India's policy to develop close ties with countries in Southeast Asia and beyond. So that's why India has indeed prioritized cooperation under BIMSTEC and has been making contribution to make sure that we continue to make progress. Prime Minister Modi at the 6th BIMSTEC summit in fact announced a number of initiatives to strengthen cooperation under BIMSTEC. And similarly, if we look at the statement of our other member states, they all committed to take initiatives to strengthen cooperation under BIMSTEC, and they have been doing so. As a regional platform, The success of BIMSTEC depends on cooperation of all the member states, and I am very happy to share with you that all our member states are committed to do their best to make sure that BIMSTEC succeeds as a regional platform.
Uh, if we ask BIMSTEC's current foreign trade agreement status of the foreign trade FTA status, and also I would like to know that why this FTA moving so slowly. It's not that actively moving.
There are two aspects. One, that member states have indeed given a high priority to promote intra-BIMSTEC trade and investments, and that's why the framework agreement for FTA was signed in 2004, and subsequently 6 working groups were set up under the Trade Negotiating Committee to begin negotiations on different aspects of FTA like rules of origin, trade in services, investments, customs cooperation, trade facilitation, and dispute settlement mechanisms. The negotiations have been going on, though during the COVID period and subsequently there was slowdown in the terms of meetings of these working groups. Now these working groups have met again on a regular basis, and we are very hopeful that we will make progress. The progress is a function of consensus among all the member states on different aspects which are being discussed, and the priority that they attach to BIMSTEC FTA. So, since our member states do attach a high priority to this, so we are quite hopeful that we'll be able to make swift progress in some fields of negotiations related to FTA.
Excellency, how do you see actually how has BIMSTEC trade developed over the years, and what are the barriers you find among the member states?
So I can only talk in terms of intra-BIMSTEC trade. So intra-BIMSTEC trade has indeed grown and continues to grow because the trade among our member states has grown. They are trading more, their external trade has grown. So naturally intra-BIMSTEC trade has also grown, and some of the aspects related to intra-BIMSTEC trade are actually being discussed during these negotiations. But I would also like to share with your audience that we have taken initiatives to promote more involvement of business communities of our member states. So in the recent past we had business summits, BIMSTEC business conclaves. There is a proposal to set up a BIMSTEC Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So the idea is to bring the business communities of the member states together, and once business communities come together, they naturally do more trade and more investment. So there is a huge potential for future, and we are hopeful that this potential for intra-BIMSTEC trade and intra-BIMSTEC investment would be realized in future.
And now I would like to focus on the connectivity side, which is very, a key motto of BIMSTEC. In recent years, what are the progress that has been made in transport and connectivity projects among the member states?
With the technical help from Asian Development Bank, our member states have developed a master plan for transport connectivity, which has been under implementation. It has identified the projects which each member states need to undertake to have better connectivity, and it covers all the areas of connectivity, from the land connectivity to maritime connectivity to air connectivity. We have been, our member states have been regularly meeting to carry out the assessment of the success in implementation of the master plan. And at the last review conducted in 2025, It was indicated that over 60% of the projects have been completed or under implementation. And this master plan itself is being updated now, and the draft of updated master plan has been shared with the member states. And in the coming month, Thailand, which is the lead member state for connectivity, will host a meeting of BIMSTEC working group on transport connectivity, and that working group will look at the master plan, revised master plan, and approve it. So we have made progress. Under connectivity, I am also happy to inform you that at the 6th BIMSTEC summit, which was held in Bangkok last year, our member states signed agreement on maritime transport cooperation. And for its entry into force, the basic requirement was that 4 countries should have ratified the agreement. And I am happy to inform that just a week ago, we had the good news that Myanmar also ratified the agreement on maritime transport cooperation, with ratification by India, Thailand and Bhutan. So 4 countries have ratified the agreement and it has entered into force. We are hopeful that the 3 remaining countries will also ratify it as soon as they are able to, so that agreement can enter into force for them also.
So as you was telling that under connectivity there are so many developments. So we believe, and in fact it's in BIMSTEC's motto already, it's one of the resolution, the word tourism, that connects people to people. And also when you were mentioning sometimes back that BIMSTEC is targeting the business sector. So business will grow that time when people are interested in that product or that commodity, and when people easily can give a tour to the nearest countries. Or so how do you see BIMSTEC, how BIMSTEC is promoting the tourism sector?
So we would like to promote travel and among our member states, whether the travel is for tourism purposes or for business purposes, or it's for cultural exchanges, people to people contacts. We are very keen to promote travel among our member states. Connectivity, better connectivity is one aspect of promoting travel, but we also have an expert group on visa matters, and recently the expert group in the last meeting identified a number of steps which member states have agreed to take to facilitate better travel among member states, to look at easing of some of the visa requirements. So we are working from both the angles. But in tourism sector itself, we have a BIMSTEC network of tour operators, because it's tour operators who need to work together to promote intra-BIMSTEC tourism. We already have an updated action plan, and we have created a small tourism development fund. We have created a portal for digitally promoting BIMSTEC tourism. We are in the process of identifying some specific circuits for promoting intra-BIMSTEC tourism. And as part of maritime connectivity, there is an effort also to promote cruise tourism, because Bay of Bengal can actually help in promoting cruise tourism among India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar and Thailand, and even landlocked member states like Nepal and Bhutan can become part of the development of cruise tourism as well as land tourism. So tourism has been a very high priority, and we are at the cusp of actually benefiting from all the initiatives that we have taken in tourism sector.
When the word like Bay of Bengal, maritime, these words, when it comes, it definitely reminds me of fisheries and blue economy. So what initiative has BIMSTEC taken to, advance the fisheries and blue economy sector?
We have, as I had mentioned earlier, fisheries and livestock sector, which is led by Myanmar. The action plan for that sector was approved in 2024 and it is under implementation. But blue economy is a bigger sector because it encompasses not only fisheries but many other aspects of cooperation to develop marine resources. Blue economy was added as a sector by our member states just a couple of years ago. So member states have agreed to create an expert group. Bangladesh is the lead member state. It has already developed a draft action plan which has been shared with the member states. So and the meeting of the expert group is going to be scheduled very soon, which will approve actually the action plan, and that is when we would start implementation of the action plan. So we have taken all the preparatory steps to begin cooperation in very important sector of blue economy. And Bangladesh, which has high stakes in blue economy, is the lead member state. So we are very happy that a country which has attached a high priority to blue economy will be leading regional cooperation in blue economy sector.
When we are talking about cooperation, so for cooperation, security is a key part. So how do you see that BIMSTEC's main plan and achievements in security and counterterrorism cooperation?
Security, as you noted, is very important aspect of cooperation because there are certain transnational security challenges which are not confined only to one country, and sometimes these challenges can originate from one member state and can affect the other. So our member states have been working basically on 4 aspects of transnational challenges. One, of course, is counterterrorism, then organized crime like drug trafficking and human trafficking, cyber security, and maritime security. In all these 4 areas, we already have the working groups which have developed their action plans, and member states meet regularly through those working groups to implement them. So our cooperation is already underway. Also, we have developed a convention on counterterrorism, drug trafficking, and other organized crime. It has been ratified by all the member states and it is being implemented. Further, we have agreement on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters already signed by all the member states and ratified by 6 member states. So we are just waiting for the 7th member states to ratify to implement that convention. We are in the process of negotiating 3 more conventions: a convention on extradition, a convention on human trafficking, and a convention on transfer of convicted persons, so that member states can work together in all those areas. So we have made a lot of progress. We have regular meetings of our national security advisors. The 5th meeting is being scheduled to be held during incoming couple of months. We are also going to start for the first time meetings of our home minister, because they will be able to look at security challenges holistically.
So it's the home ministers from all over
All the 7 BIMSTEC member states.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Who will be meeting in Delhi to discuss how to take forward cooperation in security sector. Okay. So national security advisors meeting separately and home ministers meeting separately. So there has been a lot of progress, and in future we are hopeful that there will be even more progress in cooperation in security sector.
As the Secretary General to the BIMSTEC, what major reforms are needed for BIMSTEC to be more effective and get faster results?
You know, for any organization, the biggest challenge is how to translate decisions of the leaders, declarations of the summits, action plans agreed by the member states into tangible cooperation on the ground. Implementation for BIMSTEC 2 is a challenge, and there were some institutional issues which needed to be addressed. That's why our leaders agreed to constitute an eminent persons group. That group met in 2024 6 times here at the Secretariat in Dhaka, and they prepared their report and made a number of recommendations for institutional changes in BIMSTEC, which will make it more efficient and more effective and will enable better implementation. I'm glad to share with your audience that our leaders at the 6th BIMSTEC Summit tasked the Secretariat to monitor implementation of these recommendations by the eminent persons group so that we can address some of the challenges, and our member states are keen that in future we should be able to make better progress, faster progress, and that's why we are working together with our member states to make sure that recommendations by the eminent persons group are implemented and we become more efficient and more effective in future.
Excellency, you talked about maritime transport cooperation agreement a few times. So what's the current status and upcoming time how this agreement will work and what's the development?
Agreement has already entered into force for our 4 member states. A joint shipping committee is being constituted, and there will be standard operating procedures discussed for cooperation in maritime connectivity. So the agreement is already being implemented. The basic purpose is to make sure that when we have either transport of goods or transfer of people, then we should have not only more connectivity, but also better connectivity in terms of procedures, in terms of documentation, in terms of steps. So that's why we also have another track of cooperation, which is called Ports Conclave. So our ports need to understand each other better and collaborate together. So 2 editions of BIMSTEC Ports Conclave have been hosted by India, where port authorities from our member states were invited to find ways to collaborate together. So once you have the ports working together and you have more connectivity, more shipping lines among our member states, there will be more trade, there will be more travel of people among our member states, and that's a basic purpose.
Excellency, we have got a lot of information and lot of understandings from you, and thank you. And this would be my last question to you. Since BIMSTEC formation in 1997 till now, till 2026, how do you see what are the achievements BIMSTEC has received? If you can give us a brief idea on the achievements and where did BIMSTEC actually land?
We have made progress in different sectors. These areas of cooperation were identified at different stages of BIMSTEC's progress. So that's why in some sectors we have been able to have more tangible cooperation. In other sectors we have just started cooperation. For example, health, human resource development, blue economy, mountain economy. These are the sectors which have been added recently for cooperation among the member states. So, as I said, we have been able to create institutional mechanisms in different sectors. We have agreed action plans which are under implementation. So we are making progress in different areas at different pace because the nature of the activities is different. We have focused a lot on capacity building, training, knowledge sharing, sharing of the best practices in different sectors. And I referred to you earlier, we have been able to create some centers of excellence. We have negotiated a number of agreements, MOUs, Memorandum of Association. We have BIMSTEC Center for Weather and Climate, for example, which makes tailored forecast for the member states, provides early warning. Similarly, we have last year made functional BIMSTEC Energy Center, which is taking forward cooperation in energy sector and has engaged in a lot of very technical capacity building workshops. In culture sector, also I would like to mention that we have set up a BIMSTEC Cultural Industries Observatory and Cultural Industries Commission in Paro in Bhutan. We are at the last stage of making functional BIMSTEC technology transfer facility, which will enable member states to gain better access to technologies developed by them. And we have, as I mentioned to you, at least 8 new proposals to create centers of excellence in agriculture, in disaster management, in traditional medicine, in skill development, in culture and tourism, in public health, in tropical medicine, supreme audit institutions. And member states are very keen to come forward with new proposals to create centers of excellence. So once all these centers of excellence become functional, they will, as autonomous organization, sustain cooperation, tangible cooperation on the ground, led by all the member states, because these centers will involve experts from all the member states. In their governing board, there will be decision makers from all the member states.
Thank you. Thank you, His Excellency. I would like to take your permission to end this interview. And thank you for being with Deshkal News, and thank you for sharing this information with our audience and with the people of Bangladesh.
No, I'm grateful to you for taking your time out. I'm grateful to your team and also the management of Deshkal for taking this initiative. We would certainly like to maintain this relationship in future, and I will be happy to share with your audience more progress in future in different sectors, which we are hopeful to make. And the secretariat is located in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the current chair of BIMSTEC. So this is a very happy confluence and an opportunity to make faster progress in future. So thank you so much for taking time out and talking to us.
Thank you.
Namaskar.